My beloved soul, pause for a moment, because what you are about to hear is not ordinary, and it is not meant for everyone. This is a divine interruption, a sacred message that has found you at the exact second it was meant to. On July 29th, God is speaking directly into your life, declaring that something beautiful is entering your world, but there is an urgency attached to it that cannot be ignored. You may have felt it already, a strange shift in your spirit, a quiet stirring in your heart, as if something unseen is moving closer. That is not your imagination. That is alignment. That is heaven positioning you at the edge of a moment that could change everything. Archangel Michael stands near you right now, not in fear but in protection. His presence is a sign that this moment carries weight. His sword of light is not drawn in warning, but in defense of the blessing that is approaching you. Because what is coming is valuable. It is sacred, and it must not be lost through hesitation. Listen, cause this is where most people miss it. God is not just announcing a blessing, He is inviting a response. And the window is small. Before midnight. That is not symbolic. That is not poetic language. That is a spiritual timing that carries power. Because there are moments when heaven opens a door, and it does not remain open forever. There are divine opportunities that require immediate alignment, immediate faith, immediate readiness. You have been through seasons that made no sense, delays that tested your patience, losses that left questions in your heart. You may have wondered if God had forgotten you, if your prayers were being heard, if your time would ever come. But what you did not see was this: every delay was preparation. Every closed door was protection. Every moment of waiting was building toward this exact second. And now, something beautiful is being released into your life, not randomly but intentionally. Something that carries restoration. Something that carries peace. Something that will make you look back and finally understand why everything had to happen the way it did. But here is the truth: not everyone will receive it. Some will hear this and scroll away. Some will doubt. Some will say, maybe later. And just like that, the moment passes them by. Do not let that be your story. Because the fact that you are here, right now, hearing these words, means you were chosen to recognize this moment. You were meant to feel this urgency. You were meant to respond. This is not about having all the answers. It is not about being perfect or fully prepared. It is about saying yes. Yes to what God is doing. Yes to what is entering your life. Yes to the unknown that carries divine beauty. Because faith does not wait for certainty. Faith moves when called. And right now, you are being called. Something beautiful is already on its way to you. It is closer than you think. It is real. It is prepared. And it is waiting for your response. So ask yourself honestly before midnight arrives, will you respond? Or will you let this moment slip away? There is a reason why this message is anchored to a specific moment in time. July 29th is not just another date passing on the calendar. It carries a spiritual imprint, a divine marking that has been set long before you became aware of it. In the unseen realm, alignment has been taking place. Pieces have been moving quietly. Situations have been shifting behind the scenes. And what once felt delayed is now converging into perfect timing. You may not have noticed it at first. Life may have seemed ordinary, even heavy at times. But beneath the surface, something has been building. The struggles you faced were not pointless. The waiting was not wasted. Every tear, every prayer, every moment of confusion has been recorded and woven into this exact point in your journey. Archangel Michael has been present through it all, even when you did not realize it. There were moments when you felt like giving up, moments when everything seemed uncertain, and yet something kept you going. That strength did not come from nowhere. It was divine protection. It was guidance. It was preparation for what is now about to unfold. Because what is happening now is not random. It is a reward season. There are times when God allows you to walk through difficulty, not to harm you, but to shake you, to refine your heart, to strengthen your spirit, to teach you lessons that can only be learned through experience. And once that process reaches completion, there comes a moment when the reward is released. This is that moment. Something beautiful is entering your life because you have been prepared to receive it. Not in a way that is always visible, but in a way that is deeply spiritual. You have grown, even when you felt stuck. You have learned, even when you felt lost. And now, that growth is creating space for something new to arrive. But here is where many people misunderstand divine timing. They think that once a blessing is released, it will simply fall into place without any response. They believe it will happen automatically, without participation. But that is not how alignment works. A door can be opened, but it still requires you to walk through it. A gift can be presented, but it still requires you to receive it. And this is why the urgency exists. Because hesitation creates distance. Doubt creates delay. Distraction creates missed opportunities. Right now, heaven is not just offering something beautiful. It is asking for your awareness. It is asking for your attention. It is asking for your willingness to step into what is being prepared for you. Think about the moments in your life when you felt a quiet nudge of feeling that you should act, speak, move, or believe differently. Those moments were not random. They were invitations. And sometimes, when those invitations were ignored, opportunities slipped away without you even realizing it. But this time is different. This time, the message is clear. This time, the call is direct. Archangel Michael is standing as a witness to this moment, not only as a protector, but as a confirmer. His presence signals that this is not something to take lightly. It is a moment that carries spiritual weight, a moment that can shift the direction of your life if you choose to respond. You are not being asked to do something complicated. You are not being asked to figure everything out. You are being asked to recognize, to feel, to trust, and most importantly, to respond. Because something beautiful is already in motion. It is not waiting to be created, it is waiting to be received. And your response is the bridge between what has been prepared and what will be manifested in your life. So take a moment and listen within. That quiet pull you feel, that sense that this message is meant for you, that is not coincidence. That is confirmation. And as the hours move closer to midnight, the question becomes more important than ever. Will you remain where you are, or will you step forward into what God has already set in place for you? Listen carefully, because what is about to be revealed is deeply personal, and it touches areas of your life that you may have kept hidden from others. When God says that something beautiful is entering your life, He is not speaking in vague or distant terms. This beauty has form. It has meaning. It carries transformation in a way that will meet you exactly where you have been longing. For some, this beauty will appear as restoration in love. A connection that was broken may return with healing, or a new presence may enter your life that brings peace instead of confusion. Where there was once pain, there will be clarity. Where there was once rejection, there will be acceptance that feels natural and safe. For others, this beauty will unfold through provision. Doors that were once closed in your financial life may begin to open in ways you did not expect. Opportunities may arise suddenly, and what once felt like struggle may begin to ease. not because you forced it, but because the timing has finally aligned. There are also those who will experience this beauty as healing, not only in the body but in the heart and the mind. Old wounds that have been carried quietly for years will begin to release. You will feel lighter. You will feel free in ways you may have forgotten were possible. And for some, this beauty will come as purpose, a clear sense of direction, a knowing of what you are meant to do, and a confidence to step into it without fear. The confusion that once clouded your path will begin to fade, replaced by a quiet certainty. But here is the truth that must be understood. Not everyone will recognize it when it arrives, because beauty from God does not always come in the way people expect. It does not always look loud or obvious. Sometimes it comes gently. Sometimes it comes in a form that requires faith to see its full value. And this is where many miss their moment. They look for something dramatic, something undeniable, something that requires no trust. And when the blessing arrives in a quieter form, they overlook it. They question it. They hesitate. Do not fall into that trap, because what is being sent to you is not meant to confuse you, but it will require your awareness. It will require your openness. It will require you to trust what you feel, even if it does not immediately make sense. Archangel Michael is near in this moment, not only as a protector, but as a guide of discernment. His presence is helping you see clearly, helping you recognize what is from God and what is not. If something brings peace instead of chaos, clarity instead of confusion, and a quiet assurance instead of fear, then you are witnessing the beauty that has been promised. You may have already felt small glimpses of it, a sudden sense of calm where there was once anxiety, a new idea that keeps returning to your mind, a person or opportunity appearing at just the right time. These are not coincidences. They are signs. They are confirmations that what has been spoken is already beginning to unfold. But again, the warning remains. Distraction can steal recognition. Doubt can block reception. Delay can weaken alignment. Right now, your awareness is your greatest strength. The more present you are, the more you will notice. The more you trust, the more clearly you will see. This is not a time to question every detail. This is a time to receive. And as you stand in this moment, something within you already knows this message is real. Something within you is responding, even if your mind is still trying to understand. Do not ignore that inner response. That is your spirit recognizing truth. And now, if this message is speaking directly to your heart, take a moment and seal this connection. Type "I receive what God has prepared" in the comments, because your words carry power. When you declare it, you align yourself with what is already being released. Blessing code 531 has just been activated over your life. And as this beauty begins to unfold, understand that you are not just witnessing a message, you are part of a mission. There are others who are still waiting to hear what you have just heard, still searching for confirmation, still standing on the edge of their own breakthrough. When you choose to support this message, you become a vessel that allows this light to reach them. Right now, say within yourself, "I choose to be part of what God is doing." Because every seed you sow into this mission becomes a stream that carries hope into someone else's life. Scripture says that when you give, it will be given back to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. This is not just a verse. It is a living promise speaking over you in this moment. If your spirit is moved, act on it. The PayPal link is in the description, and there is also a QR code available for you. This is not about obligation. This is about obedience. This is about responding to what you feel right now. As you give, you are opening a flow, a divine exchange that releases blessing not only into this work, but back into your own life. Do not delay this response. Step into it with faith. There is a reason the message carries urgency, and it is not meant to create fear. It is meant to awaken awareness. The phrase "before midnight" is not just a deadline. It is a spiritual window, a sacred space in time where decisions carry greater weight, where alignment happens faster, and where response determines outcome. Right now, you are standing inside that window. You may not see it with your eyes, but in the spiritual realm, something has already been set in motion. A door hath been opened, and what lies behind it is not ordinary. It is something that has been prepared specifically for you, something that carries beauty, restoration, and change. But like all divine doors, it requires movement. Archangel Michael is present at this threshold, not to force you forward, but to guard the opportunity. His presence is a reminder that this moment is protected, but it is also temporary. There are times when heaven moves swiftly, and those who respond in faith step into blessing, while those who hesitate remain where they are. This is not about pressure. It is about timing. Think about moments in your past where you felt a strong inner pull to act, but you delayed. Maybe it was a decision, a conversation, an opportunity. At the time, it seemed small, but later, you realized that moment had more significance than you understood, and perhaps you wondered what would have happened if you had responded differently. This is one of those moments, but this time, you are aware. This time, you are being given clarity before the moment passes. And that is a gift, because awareness gives you power. It gives you the ability to choose differently. It allows you to step into alignment instead of missing it. The urgency you feel is not meant to overwhelm you. It is meant to sharpen your focus. It is meant to bring you fully into the present, where your response matters most. Right now, distraction is your greatest enemy. The world around you is filled with noise, with things that pull your attention away from what truly matters. It is easy to scroll, to delay, to say, "I will think about it later." But later is where opportunities fade. Later is where clarity becomes confusion. The present moment is where transformation begins. And this moment, right now, is where your response holds power. You are not being asked to do something complicated. You are not being asked to perform or prove anything. You are being asked to align, to recognize that something real is happening, to acknowledge that this is not random, to open your heart and say, "I am ready to receive." Because readiness is not about perfection. It is about willingness. Archangel Michael stands as a witness to your choice. Not judging, not forcing, but observing. His presence carries strength, and that strength is available to you if you choose to step forward. If fear tries to rise, his protection covers you. If doubt tries to speak, his presence reminds you of truth. You are not alone in this moment. Heaven is closer than you think, and the beauty that is entering your life is not waiting for you to figure everything out. It is waiting for you to say yes. Yes to trust. Yes to movement. Yes to stepping forward, even if you do not see the full path. Because this is how faith works. Faith does not wait until everything is clear. Faith moves when called. And you are being called right now. As the hours move closer to midnight, the energy of this moment becomes stronger. The invitation becomes clearer. The opportunity becomes more defined. But the question remains the same. Will you respond while the door is open, or will you wait until it closes? Because once a moment like this passes, It does not return in the same way. Another opportunity may come in the future, but it will not be this one. It will not carry the same timing, the same alignment, the same preparation that has led to this exact point. This is your moment, and something beautiful is already reaching toward you. The only thing left is for you to reach back. Pay close attention, because there is something you may have overlooked, something that has been quietly unfolding in your life even before this message reached you. The truth is, this moment did not begin right now. It has been building for days, maybe even weeks. The signs have been there, subtle but persistent, waiting for you to recognize them. Think back carefully. Have you noticed repeating numbers appearing again and again, almost as if they were trying to catch your attention? Moments where you looked at the clock and saw the same sequence or patterns that felt too consistent to ignore. These were not random. These were signals, small whispers from the spiritual realm, trying to awaken your awareness. Or perhaps you have experienced unusual dreams. Not ordinary dreams that fade away quickly, but vivid ones that stayed with you, leaving behind a feeling you could not fully explain. Dreams that felt symbolic, almost like messages wrapped in mystery. Those were not meaningless. They were part of the preparation. Maybe it was not numbers or dreams for you. Maybe it was a feeling, a sudden shift in your emotions without any clear reason. A sense that something is about to change, even though nothing around you seemed different. A quiet anticipation that you could not put into words. That feeling was not coming from nowhere. That was your spirit sensing movement before your mind could understand it. And then there were the moments of interruption. Plans that did not go as expected. Delays that seemed frustrating at first. Situations that forced you to pause when you wanted to move forward. At the time, it may have felt like obstacles, like something was working against you. But now, look at it from a different perspective. What if those delays were not setbacks? What if they were divine redirections? Because sometimes, in order for something beautiful to enter your life, something else must be moved out of the way. And that process does not always feel comfortable. It can feel confusing. It can feel like things are falling apart. But in reality, they are being rearranged. Archangel Michael has been present through all of this, guiding what you could not see. There were moments when you were protected from paths that were not meant for you, even if you did not realize it at the time. There were doors that did not open, not because you were rejected, but because something better was being prepared. Now, all of those signs are coming together. The numbers, the dreams, the feelings, the delays. They were not separate events. They were pieces of a larger message, leading you to this exact moment. And this message is the confirmation. You are not imagining it. You are not overthinking it. You are not reading too much into things. This is real. Something beautiful is entering your life, and the signs were preparing you to recognize it when it arrives. But here is where awareness becomes critical. When signs appear repeatedly, they are meant to be acknowledged. When they are ignored, they lose their power to guide. And many people, even when they sense something, choose to dismiss it. They explain in a way. They tell themselves it is nothing. And in doing so, they disconnect from the very guidance that was meant to lead them. Do not make that mistake. Because right now, everything is aligning. The message you are hearing is not separate from the signs you have seen. It is the continuation of them. It is the moment where everything becomes clear. Archangel Michael is helping you see this connection, helping you understand that what you have been experiencing is not coincidence. It is communication. And now that you are aware, your response carries even greater meaning. Because you are not responding blindly. You are responding with confirmation. You are responding with understanding. You are responding with the knowing that something greater is unfolding. Take a moment and reflect on everything you have noticed recently. The small things, the quiet signals, the moments that felt different. They were all leading you here. And now, the path is opening. Something beautiful is not just coming, it is arriving. And the more you acknowledge the signs, the more clearly you will see it when it stands before you. So remain present. Remain aware. Because this is no longer about searching for signs. This is about recognizing fulfillment. And what has been promised is closer than ever. There is something happening within you right now, and it is more important than anything happening around you. It is a quiet but intense battle, one that does not always show on the outside but is deeply felt within. It is the battle between fear and faith. And in this moment, that battle is reaching its peak. On one side, there is fear. It whispers questions into your mind. It tells you to wait, to hesitate, to be cautious. It reminds you of past disappointments, of times when things did not work out the way you hoped. It tries to convince you that protecting yourself means holding back, that it is safer not to fully believe. Fear speaks in logic that feels convincing. It says, what if this is not real? It says, what if you trust and nothing happens? It says, what if you are setting yourself up to be disappointed again? And because you have lived through real experiences, because you have faced moments that tested your heart, those thoughts can feel familiar. They can feel valid. But listen carefully. Fear is not speaking from your future. It is speaking from your past. It is trying to use what has already happened to control what is about to happen. And if you allow it, it will keep you in the same place, repeating the same patterns, missing the same opportunities, staying within the limits of what you already know. On the other side, there is faith. Faith does not shout as loudly as fear. It speaks in a quieter voice, but it carries a deeper truth. It does not try to overwhelm you with questions. It simply reminds you of what you feel in your spirit. Faith says this is different. Faith says you are ready. Faith says something beautiful is truly coming. And even if you cannot explain it fully, there is a part of you that recognizes that voice. There is a part of you that feels peace when you listen to it, even if your mind is still uncertain. That is because faith is not based on what you have already seen. It is based on what is being revealed to you now. Archangel Michael stands with you in this moment of decision, not to force your choice, but to strengthen your faith. His presence is a reminder that you are not facing this alone. When fear rises, His protection surrounds you. When doubt tries to take hold, His light brings clarity. You are supported. You are guided. You are protected. But the choice is still yours. Because faith requires a decision. It requires you to say, I will trust what I feel, even if I cannot see everything yet. And that decision changes everything. When you choose fear, you remain where you are. You stay within the boundaries of what feels safe, but you also limit what can enter your life. When you choose faith, you step into something new. You open yourself to possibilities that did not exist before. You allow what has been prepared for you to fully arrive. This is why this moment matters so much. Because it is not just about what is coming into your life. It is about who you choose to be as it arrives. Will you be someone who hesitates and questions until the moment passes? Or will you be someone who trusts and steps forward, even with uncertainty? You do not need to have all the answers. You do not need to feel completely ready. You only need to make one choice. to trust, to believe that what is being spoken to you right now is not random, not imagined, not coincidence, to believe that something beautiful is truly entering your life, and that you are meant to receive it. Take a moment and notice what you feel right now, not what you think, not what you analyze, but what you feel. A quiet sense of knowing, that inner pull that keeps bringing your attention back to this message. That is not fear. That is faith trying to rise. Let it rise. Let it be stronger than your doubts. Let it guide your response. Because in the end, this moment is not about proving anything to anyone else. It is about aligning with what God is doing in your life. And right now, He is asking you to choose. Not between right and wrong, but between fear and faith. And the path you choose will determine how this beauty enters your life. So choose carefully, because what you choose in this moment will echo into everything that comes next. There is a powerful shift that takes place the moment you choose to respond with faith. It is not always visible immediately, but it is real, and it begins the instant your heart aligns with what God is doing. When you say yes, truly yes, not out of fear, not out of pressure, but out of trust, something activates in your life. It is as if a door that was waiting quietly suddenly swings open, and what begins to flow through that door is not forced. It is not chaotic. It is smooth, intentional, and deeply aligned with who you are becoming. This is what happens when you respond correctly. You begin to notice changes that feel different from anything you have experienced before. Opportunities begin to appear, but they do not feel heavy or confusing. They feel right. They feel peaceful, even when they challenge you to grow. Connections begin to form, but they do not drain your energy. They support you. They uplift you. They bring clarity instead of doubt. Even your thoughts begin to shift. Where there was once overthinking, there is now a quiet confidence. Where there was once hesitation, there is now a willingness to move forward. This is the beauty of alignment. It does not force things into your life. It attracts what already belongs. Archangel Michael stands as a guardian of this transition, ensuring that what enters your life in this season is protected. Not everything is allowed through this door. Only what carries truth, purpose, and blessing is permitted to come close. This is why this moment is so important, because your response determines what you allow yourself to step into. When you choose faith, you are not just accepting a message. You are stepping into a new flow, a new direction, a new version of your life that was always meant for you but required your readiness. And this readiness is not about perfection. It is about openness. Think of it like standing at the edge of something new. You may not see the entire path ahead, but you can feel that it is leading somewhere better. You can sense that staying where you are is no longer aligned with who you are becoming. That feeling is not random. That is transformation calling you forward. And when you take that step, even a small one, everything begins to respond. The right people begin to notice you. The right opportunities begin to find you. The right ideas begin to form within you. It is not coincidence. It is alignment in motion. But there is something else that must be understood. Transformation does not always feel comfortable at first. Even when something beautiful is entering your life, it may require you to let go of something familiar. Old patterns, old thoughts, even old connections that no longer match your new direction. And that can feel challenging, because the familiar, even when it is limiting, feels safe. But growth requires movement, and movement requires letting go. Archangel Michael's presence in this moment is also a source of strength for this process. He is not only protecting what is coming in, He is helping you release what must go out. His energy supports you in letting go without fear, in trusting that what you are leaving behind is not meant to follow you into this next chapter. So if you feel a shift, if you feel a separation from certain things in your life, do not resist it. Do not try to hold on to what is naturally falling away, because what is leaving is making space for what is arriving. And what is arriving is something beautiful, something that matches your growth, something that aligns with your purpose, something that feels like peace instead of struggle. This is the result of your response. Not just a moment of belief, but a doorway into transformation. And as you continue to move forward with this trust, you will begin to see that everything is changing, not in a chaotic way, but in a way that feels guided, intentional, and right. Because when you align with what God is doing, your life begins to reflect that alignment. And what once felt distant begins to feel within reach. What once felt impossible begins to feel natural. And what once felt like a dream begins to become your reality. This is what happens when you say yes. And this is only the beginning of what is about to unfold in your life. There is something you must become aware of right now, something that is subtle but powerful, and if it is not recognized, it can quietly pull you away from everything that has been prepared for you. Not every resistance you feel is coming from within you. Some of it is external, unseen, and designed to distract you at the very moment you are meant to move forward. When something beautiful is about to enter your life, there is often a shift not only in your spirit, but also in the environment around you. Distractions increase. Doubts become louder. Unexpected interruptions appear. It may feel like your focus is being pulled in different directions, as if something is trying to break your attention away from this moment. This is not random. This is resistance. It does not come to destroy you. It comes to test your awareness. Because what you focus on determines what you receive. If your attention is scattered, you may miss what is right in front of you. If your thoughts are consumed by doubt, you may overlook what is clearly aligned. And if you delay your response, you may weaken the connection that is being formed right now. Archangel Michael is present not only as a protector of blessings, but also as a defender against these unseen distractions. His presence creates a shield around your awareness, helping you stay focused, helping you remain clear, helping you recognize what truly matters in this moment. But even with that protection, you must choose to stay aligned. You must choose to be intentional with your focus. Right now, notice what is trying to pull your attention away. Is it overthinking? Is it fear disguised as logic? Is it the urge to delay, to scroll, to move on quickly as if this moment is not important? These are not small things. They are subtle interruptions that can lead you away from what you are meant to receive. Because the truth is, blessings often require presence. They require you to be aware enough to recognize them, to respond to them, to accept them when they arrive. If your attention is elsewhere, even something meant for you can pass unnoticed. And that is why this moment is so important. You are being asked to stay here, to stay focused, to stay aware, to stay open. Because what is entering your life is not meant to be chased. It is meant to be received. But reception requires attention. Think of it like someone knocking on your door. If you are not paying attention, you may not hear it. If you are distracted, you may ignore it. And eventually, the knocking stops, not because it was never meant for you, but because you did not respond. Right now, something is knocking. Something beautiful is arriving. And your awareness is what allows you to open the door. Do not let distraction take that from you. Do not let doubt cloud what you feel. Do not let delay weaken what is already aligning. Archangel Michael's energy is strengthening your clarity in this moment. If you feel a sense of focus returning, if you feel a renewed awareness, that is not accidental. That is guidance. That is protection working in your favor. Stay with that feeling. Stay grounded in it. Because this is where your power is. Now, if you feel this message deeply, if you sense that something is truly shifting around you, take a moment to anchor yourself in it. Type "I stay aligned with my blessing" in the comments, because when you declare alignment, you strengthen it. Blessing code 842 has now been released over your life. And as you stand in this alignment, understand this: what you are experiencing is not just for you alone. There are others who are still caught in distraction, still unaware of what is unfolding, still searching for clarity that you are beginning to receive. When you choose to support this message, you become part of a greater flow that reaches those who are still waiting. Say within yourself, "I am a vessel for God's light," because every act of giving becomes a seed planted into the lives of others. The word says that those who sow generously will also reap generously, and that promise is alive and active over you right now. If your spirit is stirred, do not hesitate. The PayPal link is available in the description, and the QR code is placed for your ease. This is not just giving, it is responding to a divine moment. As you sow into this mission, you are opening doors not only for others, but within your own life as well. Move with faith. Act with intention. There are moments in life that define everything that comes after them, and often, they do not look dramatic at first. They begin quietly, with a simple decision, a small step, a response that seems almost ordinary. But later, when you look back, you realize that was the moment everything changed. What you are standing in right now is one of those moments. There have been others who stood exactly where you are now, uncertain, curious, feeling something but not fully understanding it. And just like you, they had a choice: to respond or to ignore, to trust or to doubt, to step forward or to stay where they were. And their decisions shaped their outcomes. There was someone who once felt stuck for years, unable to move forward no matter how hard they tried. They heard a message like this, and something inside them stirred. At first, they questioned it. They hesitated. But then, instead of overthinking, they made a simple choice. They opened their heart and said yes. Within days, things began to shift. Opportunities they had been waiting for suddenly appeared. Conversations that needed to happen unfolded naturally. Doors that had been closed for so long began to open, one after another. It was not chaotic. It was not forced. It felt like everything was finally falling into place. There was another who had been carrying emotional pain for a long time. Trust had been broken, and they had built walls to protect themselves. When they heard a message like this, their first reaction was resistance. They did not want to believe again. They did not want to hope again. But something inside them would not let them walk away. So they made a quiet decision to trust, even if it felt uncomfortable. And slowly, healing began. Not all at once, not in a way that overwhelmed them, but in a way that felt safe. The right people entered their life, bringing understanding instead of hurt. The heaviness they carried started to lift, and for the first time in a long time, they felt peace. There was also someone who had been searching for direction, unsure of their purpose, feeling lost in the path they were on. When they encountered a moment like this, they felt a strong pull, but they did not know what it meant. Instead of ignoring it, they followed it. They paid attention to what they felt. They responded with faith. And over time, clarity began to emerge. Ideas formed. Opportunities aligned. And what once felt confusing became a clear path forward. These are not just stories. They are reminders. Reminders that when you respond to a divine moment, something real begins to unfold. Not always instantly, not always in a way you expect, but always in alignment with what is meant for you. And here is the most important part. Each of those people could have missed it. They could have ignored the feeling. They could have delayed their response. They could have allowed doubt to take over. But they did not. They chose differently. And that choice changed everything. Now, you are in that same position. You are feeling something. You are hearing something. You are being given an opportunity to respond. And just like them, your response matters. Because what is happening right now is not just about a message. It is about a moment that carries potential. Potential for change. Potential for healing. Potential for something beautiful to enter your life in a way that shifts everything. But potential only becomes reality when it is acted upon. Archangel Michael stands as a witness to this moment, just as he stood for others who came before you. His presence is a reminder that you are supported, that you are guided, that you are not stepping into this alone. But he will not choose for you. That choice is yours, and it is made in a simple way, not through complicated actions, not through perfect understanding, but through a decision in your heart. To trust, to believe, to respond. Because the truth is, one day, you will look back on this moment, and you will either see it as the moment you stepped forward or the moment you stayed where you were. And that difference will shape everything that comes next. Now the question becomes clear, not just in feeling, but in action. What does it truly mean to respond? How do you step into what God is opening for you in a way that is real, grounded, and aligned? The answer is simpler than your mind may be trying to make it. Responding is not about performing something complex. It is not about saying the perfect words or doing something dramatic. It begins with an internal shift, a decision that becomes the foundation for everything else. First, you respond with acknowledgement. You take a moment and recognize that this is not random. You accept that what you are hearing, what you are feeling, carries meaning. You stop dismissing it, stop pushing it aside, and instead, you allow yourself to say, "This moment matters." And simple acknowledgement creates alignment. Second, you respond with openness. You release the need to control how everything will happen. You let go of the need to understand every detail before you move forward. Instead, you open your heart and your mind to receive what is coming, even if it unfolds in ways you did not expect. Because often, the beauty that God sends does not follow your plans. It follows His. And His plans carry a wisdom that goes beyond what you can see right now. Third, you respond with intention. This means becoming aware of your thoughts and your focus, choosing to think in alignment with what is being spoken over your life. Instead of repeating doubts, you begin to affirm what you feel in your spirit. Instead of focusing on what could go wrong, you begin to focus on what is being prepared. Your thoughts begin to shift, and that shift changes how you experience what is coming. Fourth, you respond with trust. This is where faith becomes active. Not just something you feel, but something you choose. Trust does not mean you have no questions. It means you choose to move forward even with questions. It means you allow what is coming to unfold without resistance. Archangel Michael stands with you in this process, not only as a protector, but as a guide of strength. His presence supports your trust, especially in moments when uncertainty tries to return. When you feel hesitation, His energy reminds you to stay grounded, to stay aligned, to stay open. You are not doing this alone. Fifth, you respond with small actions. This is where many people misunderstand the process. They think they need to make a big move, a life-changing decision immediately. But often, the most powerful response begins with something simple. It can be a prayer, a moment of stillness, a conscious decision to let go of a negative thought, a step towards something that feels right, even if it is small. These actions may seem minor, but they carry intention, and intention activates movement. Because when you take even a small step in alignment, everything around you begins to respond. Doors begin to open. Paths begin to reveal themselves. Clarity begins to increase. And what once felt uncertain begins to feel guided. Finally, you respond with consistency. This is not a one-time moment that ends here. This is the beginning of a flow, a direction, a new way of moving through your life. And the more you stay aligned, the more you will continue to receive. Consistency does not mean perfection. It means returning to alignment again and again, choosing faith again and again, staying alive again and again. Because each time you do, you strengthen the connection between what is being prepared and what is being manifested. Right now, everything you need is already within you. You do not need to search outside yourself for confirmation. You do not need to wait for another sign. This moment is the sign. This message is the confirmation. And your response is the key. Archangel Michael is standing beside you, witnessing your decision, supporting your movement, protecting your path as you step forward. So take a breath, center yourself, and choose. Not out of pressure, but out of awareness. Not out of fear, but out of trust. Because something beautiful is not just entering your life. It is waiting for your response to fully arrive. And what you do right now determines how that beauty unfolds. There is something your heart needs to hear right now. Something that will quiet the last traces of fear and replace them with a deep, unshakable peace. What is coming into your life is not here to harm you, confuse you, or overwhelm you. It is aligned with your purpose. It is aligned with your growth. And most importantly, it is aligned with God's will for you. You do not have to question whether you deserve it. You do not have to wonder if you are ready enough. You do not have to fear that it will disappear the moment you begin to trust it. Because what comes from God carries stability. It carries peace. It carries a sense of rightness that does not need to be forced or chased. For so long, you may have been in situations where things felt uncertain, where you had to question everything, where you had to protect yourself because you did not know what would happen next. And over time, that creates a habit of doubt, a habit of waiting for something to go wrong. But this is different. This is not something you have to fight to keep. This is not something you have to struggle to understand. This is something you are meant to receive with calm confidence. Archangel Michael's presence in this moment is a reassurance of that truth. His energy does not bring chaos. It brings order. It brings clarity. It brings protection over what is entering your life so that it is not easily shaken or taken away. You are being guided into something stable. Something that will not leave you questioning your worth. Something that will not require you to shrink yourself or hold back. Something that will meet you where you are and elevate you into who you are becoming. And this is why trust is so important right now. Because the mind will try to go back to old patterns. It will try to analyze, to question, to prepare for disappointment. It will try to protect you in ways that once made sense, but no longer serve you. You must gently release those patterns, not by force but by awareness. Each time a doubtful thought arises, recognize it for what it is, a reflection of the past, not a prediction of the future. Each time fear tries to speak, remind yourself that this moment is different. Because it is. What is entering your life now is not repeating the past. It is breaking the pattern. It is bringing something new. Something that carries peace instead of confusion. Something that carries clarity instead of uncertainty. Something that feels aligned instead of forced. And as this begins to unfold, you will notice a shift within yourself. You will feel calmer, more grounded, more certain, even without needing all the answers. That is how you will know it is real. Because true alignment does not create chaos inside you. It creates peace. Archangel Michael is strengthening that peace within you right now. If you feel a sense of calm replacing your doubts, if you feel a quiet confidence beginning to rise, that is not accidental. That is divine reassurance. Stay with that feeling. Let it grow. Because that is your foundation moving forward. You do not need to rush. You do not need to force anything. Everything that is meant for you is already moving toward you in the right way, at the right time. Your only role is to remain open, to remain trusting, to remain aligned. Because when you do, you allow everything to unfold naturally. And what unfolds naturally lasts. Take a moment now and breathe. Release any tension you are holding. Let go of the need to control every outcome. And simply allow yourself to feel the truth of this moment. Something beautiful is entering your life. Not to test you, not to confuse you, but to bless you. And as you stand here, aware and open, you are exactly where you need to be. Nothing is missing. Nothing is out of place. Everything is aligning. And what is coming will reflect that alignment in ways that bring you peace, clarity, and a deep sense of fulfillment. Trust it, because this time it is real. Beloved soul, now everything becomes still. After all the urgency, all the movement, all the decisions, there is a quiet peace settling over this moment. And that peace is not empty. It is full of assurance, full of promise, full of the presence of something beautiful that is no longer just coming. It is here. You have made it through the moment of decision. You have listened. You have stayed. You have allowed your heart to open. And because of that, something has already shifted within you. This is where many people misunderstand the process. They think the miracle begins when something external appears. But the truth is, the miracle begins the moment your spirit aligns. And that alignment has already happened. Right now, whether you fully realize it or not, you are no longer standing at the door. You have stepped through it. Archangel Michael is no longer just guarding the entrance. He is now walking with you inside this new space, this new chapter that is unfolding gently around you. His presence is not loud, not overwhelming, but steady and protective, ensuring that what has entered your life remains covered, remains guided, remains safe. Take a deep breath and feel that. You are not rushing anymore. You are not chasing anymore. You are receiving. And what you are receiving is not fragile. It is not temporary. It is not something that will disappear the moment you relax. This is something established. Something that carries divine intention. Something that has been prepared for you long before this day arrived. There is no need to fear missing it now. There is no need to question if it will stay. Because what is aligned with God does not come to confuse, it comes to remain. As you move forward from this moment, things may not change all at once, and that is okay. Some blessings unfold like a sunrise, slowly, gently, but with certainty. And before you realize it, everything looks different. You will begin to notice peace where there was once tension, clarity where there was once confusion, hope where there was once doubt. And one day, you will look back and realize that this moment, this exact moment, was the turning point, not because something dramatic happened instantly, but because you responded, and your response changed your direction. Archangel Michael's presence will continue to guide you, especially in moments when you feel unsure again. And when those moments come, remember this feeling right now. This calm, this quiet knowing, this deep sense that something good is happening, even if you cannot see all of it yet. Hold on to that, because that is your truth. Now, if this message has reached you deeply, if you feel in your spirit that something has truly shifted, take a moment to seal this connection. Type "I accept this beauty into my life" in the comments, because your declaration anchors what has already been released. Blessing code 999 is now activated over your life. And as this beautiful new chapter begins to unfold, hear this clearly. This moment was never just about you. It was about every soul who is still waiting, still searching, still standing at their own doorway, hoping for a sign. And just as you received this message, others are waiting to receive theirs. Right now, say within your heart, "I am part of God's movement." Because when you choose to give, you are not supporting a channel, you are opening a river that carries light, truth, and awakening into lives that are still in darkness. The word declares that give, and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, and that promise is alive over every seed you release today. If you feel the stirring, do not delay it. This is your moment of obedience. The PayPal link is in the description, and the QR code is placed before you as a doorway of action. As you sow, heaven records it, multiplies it, and returns it into your life in ways you cannot yet imagine. Step into it now. Give as you are led. Become part of the harvest.